Good day. We are the group Pfizer. And now, we are going to debate about Cavite Mutiny.
Good day, everyone. We are about to witness the debate. Cavite Mutiny. Whose side is more reliable? The Spanish version or the Filipino version? But before anything else, I would like to remind all of you, the debaters, that facts should be reliable, convincing, and it should be trustworthy. That is the important thing we're going to do. And now, let me introduce our debaters. Presenting the proposition team with its first speaker, Ms. Cynthia Pareño.
Good morning, everyone. To our judges and audience, the topic of this debate is about whose moral is reliable, the Filipino version or the Spanish side. I am setting the parameter with the Philippines and Spanish country only. To prove our side, we will give an argument that will support our claim. First, the unfairly decision of the Spanish government, which is led by Governor General Rafael de Izquierdo, threatens those people to give taxes to the workers in that area. But in the first place, these taxes may be paid by means of money or forced labor on politicians or the polo e servicio. Other than that, when the workers had their salary, it has already been reduced, caused by the tax. Dr. Trinidad Hermi Higueldo Pardo de Tavera, a Filipino scholar and researcher, in his point of view, the incident was a mere mutiny by the native Filipino soldiers and laborers of the Cavite arsenal who turned out to be dissatisfied with the abolition of their privileges. Indirectly, Tavera blamed Governor Izquierdo cold-blooded policies such as the abolition of privileges of the workers and native army members of the arsenal and the prohibition of the founding of School of Arts and Trade for the Filipinos, which the general believed as a cover-up for the organization of a political club. Rebellion starts when Spanish government sentenced unreasonable punishment to the innocent priests, namely Father Jose Burgos, Father Mariano Gomez, and Father Jacinto Zamora, which is known as Gomborza. Sentencing death to the innocent priests is a move of the Spanish government to increase their power in the society.
That is Ms. Cynthia Pareño from Proposition Team. Thank you, Ms. Cynthia. Very well said. Now, we shall now hear the first speaker of Opposition Team. Shall we start?
To be reliable means to be trustworthy. Hello everyone, this is the leader of the opposition and this house believes that the Spanish side is more reliable. I would like to state arguments why I am in this side. Yes, it was stated in both versions that the primary reason of the uprising is because of the abolishment of privileges enjoyed of the labors of Cavite Arsenal, but according to the historian Janice Comacher, there is a written proof that the Governor General Rafael himself wrote the abolition of the privileges such as non-payment of tributes and exemption from forced labor were not the main reason but the desire of the Filipinos to be free from the ruling system of the Spanish. Well, it was normal for the Filipinos to fight for their rights, but initiating the uprising is not a good way to get the freedom you wanted. Meanwhile, Governor General Rafael Escuerdo's official report magnified the event and made use of it to implicate the native clergy, which was then active in the call for secularization.
It is believed that the Spanish friars and Izquierdo used the Cavite Mutiny as a powerful lever by magnifying this a full-blown conspiracy involving not only the native army but also including the residents of Cavite and Manila, and more importantly, the native clergy to overthrow the Spanish government in the Philippines. It is noteworthy that during the time the central government in Madrid announced its intention to deprive the friars of all the powers of intervention in matters of civil government and the directions and management of educational institutions. This turnout of events was believed by Tavera promoted the friars to do something drastic in their desire to maintain power in the Philippines. The will of the Filipinos to fight for their freedom got stronger that they initiate an uprising rebellion with this way of fighting is not a good way to fight for that is right and just, but the Filipinos have no other choice but to fight for their freedom. We think the Filipino will openly accept the Spanish colonization before the Spanish governed the Philippines equal on how they covered the country. Accept it or not, the Philippines before is already at a weak state that even its own people could not govern our own country. I believe that killing the Gomborza or the three priests, Mariano Gomez, Jose Burgos, Jacinto Zamora, just spared an act of mutiny and only proves that the Spaniards only see the Filipino people as laborers and never sees us at the same level as they were. The Spaniards only planned on how they could take advantage of us Filipinos.
Thank you for your remarks. And now may I call upon the third speaker from Proposition 2.
The two accounts complemented and corroborated with one another. Only that the general's report was more spiteful initially. Both Montero and Squezero score up the obligation of privilege enjoyed by the workers of Cavite Arsenal, such as non-payment of attributes and exception from forced labor were the main reason of the revolution, as how they called it. However, other causes were enumerated by them, including the Spanish Revolution, which overthrew the secular throne. Dirty propagandas proliferated by unrestrained press, democratic, liberal, and Republican books and pamphlet researching the Philippines. And most importantly, the presence of the native clergy who, out of animosity against the Spanish players, conspired and supported the rebels and enemies of Spain.
Thank you for your remarks. And now may I call upon the third speaker from Proposition 2.
The friars, fearing that their influence in the Philippines will be a thing of the past, took advantage of the incident and presented into the Spanish government as a vast conspiracy organized through the archipelago with the object of destroying Spanish sovereignty. Convicted educated who participated in the mutiny were sentenced life imprisonment, while members of the native clergy headed by the Gomborza were tried and executed by Galati. This episode leads to the awakening of nationalism and eventually to the outbreak of Philippines Revolution of 1896. The French writer Edmond Cauchut's account complemented Tavera's account by confirming that the event happened due to discontentment of the arsenal workers and soldiers in Cavite Fort. The Frenchman, however, looked more on the execution of the three martyr prize which he actually witnessed. We were colonized by the Spaniards for 3 centuries, and we all know that the people in that timeline suffered a lot, although they contributed a lot in this country and influenced us in some ways, but it can never change the fact that we become their slaves. I believe that the Filipinos does not deserve the treatment we the Spaniards had done, and as your first speak, I stand and believe to the version of my own race. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Diana Birigay, for your remarks. And now, the opposition speaker will now deliver the last speech of opposing the cases. Thank you.
Particular, Izquierdo blamed the unruly Spanish press for stockpiling malicious propagandas grasped by the Filipinos. He reported to the King of Spain that the rebels wanted to overthrow Spanish government to install a new Hari in the likes of Fathers Burgos and Zamora. The general even added that the native clergy enticed other participants by giving them charismatic assurance that their fight will not fail because God is with them, coupled with handsome promises of rewards such as employment, wealth, and ranks in the army. Izquierdo, in his report, lambasted the Indians as gullible and possessed in an innate propensity for stealing, and according to the facts I've stated, I am here to say that the Spanish version is more reliable than the Filipino version.
Thank you, everyone, for spending time to witness both sides of our debate. And now this event is about to end. Thank you and mabuhay Philippines!